Hello.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Welcome back to the Quad Pod.
Welcome back. Things are always happening in the United States as they do.
Yeah.
As
much
do.
as maybe we wish for a standstill note.
I feel like we've gotten to a point where no news is good news, as they say
Yeah.
in this country.
I guess things are a little funnier this time around. I think we have some stuff that is pretty.
Well, the thing is with that is that I don't know what he's about to say.
Yeah.
So Sam's going to lead off with something. I don't know what it is. He wanted to keep it as a surprise.
I want to keep it a little secret because you've done this to me before, and I thought, you know what, I'll keep a little secret of my own.
This is how you keep the magic going. You know?
Yeah,
You got to surprise each other.
Yeah, it's from time to time.
Yeah.
I'm getting this from PBS News. So President Donald Trump was at the National Prayer Breakfast.
Which I don't know what that is.
From the article didn't explain it too much either. From what I read, but he made some remarks while there that I think are quite important.
I'm pretty excited to hear this.
Yeah, and so this was today, as of Thursday, February 5th. This article came out. So this is a quote here. Addressing the National Prayer Breakfast, Trump blamed the media for writing his exact past words about the afterlife, suggesting his sense of irony didn't come through in the reporting. To quote Trump, "I was just having fun," Trump said of his past comments. And if you don't know what I'm referring to, it's when Trump said he was probably not going to make it to heaven.
Which is a direct quote, by the way.
He added of heaven, quote, "I really think I probably should make it. I mean, I'm not a perfect candidate, but I did a hell of a lot of good for perfect people." So he's going from "I'm probably not going to make it" to "I really think I probably should make it." There's a lot of just
I think that's actually an unprecedented show of humility on his part to say that he's not perfect.
Yeah.
I really would have,
Yeah, it is surprising to not call himself like a god, but the fact is like I'm probably going to make it, it's just a chance. Like he's moved on to maybe there's a chance. I also think it's funny. I don't know how. So during it, he also recalled a past trip to Iraq during his first term. But Trump mused that he doesn't like to sleep during long flights. And he said, to quote him, "I don't sleep on planes. I don't like sleeping on planes. I'm looking out the window watching for missiles and enemies, actually." So, just so you know, Trump is always looking out for us, even on the planes.
What is he gonna do about it if he sees one? Why is he talking like he's Solid Snake?
Yeah. Also, I love that Trump always picks the window seat too. Like this,
because he on every flight he's on. I'm sure he's the most alert and
like. There's no way his ass is not sleeping on planes. Like, also, like he's a child. I imagine him like when he sees something outside, he's like, Vance, check this out. It's like, yeah.
Well, no, he hates JD.
Oh, he hates JD.
He hates JD.
Yeah.
He's probably saying that to like Marco Rubio, maybe.
Little Marco.
Yeah, he doesn't really respect Marco either.
Does he respect anyone?
No. So I mean, actually, it could be anybody.
Dude, yeah, he calls Vance over. He's like, "Yeah, it's really cool, Trump." He also said some stuff about what is it? Thomas Massey of Kentucky. The quote was, "No matter what we do, this moron. No matter what it is." And the other quote: "We'll get 100% vote except for this guy named Thomas Massey. There's something wrong with him."
So that's a funny thing because he put out a Truth Social. And it's funny. Before we started recording, we actually were going through Trump's Truth Social page. Full disclosure.
I honestly do recommend it. There is something so.
It's pretty entertaining.
It's really entertaining. Yeah,
He's recently, in the past week or so, it seems he's been giving a lot of campaign endorsements to either MAGA warriors, quote unquote,
MAGA
or true American patriots, quote unquote, something along those lines.
Yeah.
It's just if you want, it's almost like watching it's like watching The Shining or what's the movie with Hannibal Lecter, Silence of the Lambs?
Silence of the Lambs.
It's like watching one of those movies, like in the sense that if like scrolling through his Truth Social page, like you really get a deep look into the psyche of a deeply like just unwell individual.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like someone who's clearly not doing well right now. Like, and like the funny thing too is that like there'll be hours where he doesn't, post anything, and then all in the same hour there'll be
Yeah.
like 10, and it's
Like we checked, like it's what time? Like currently it's like almost 7:00 p.m. as we're recording this. We checked like a half hour ago. He had like maybe like 5 posts in the span of like a half hour.
yeah, it was insane.
So yeah, it was a lot. But the reason I bring that up is because we saw the Truth Social post about Thomas Massey.
yeah.
And he said, I almost want to like bring it up, and I will, just because I think it's entertaining. But Trump does not like Thomas Massey. Do you maybe recall why? I think we've discussed it before a few times. Not to quiz you like it's a class.
I cannot remember by his name why, but I'm assuming.
So Thomas Massey, if I'm recalling correct, I think he co-sponsored the bill to release the Epstein files along with Ro Khanna.
Oh, okay.
So
okay.
from the offset, Donald Trump is not a fan of him.
Like, also, I love just seeing the format of a Truth Social post. Like, whenever I'm scrolling on my feed or I see a news thing, that's like the scariest thing ever.
Yeah,
I know whatever was said is not something a normal human should ever say.
So we had a brief technical difficulty, but it was actually a good thing because I was able to find the specific Truth Social post. But more or less, when I Googled it initially, when we were recording prior, when I tell you that there was no less than like a half dozen like paragraph long Truth Social posts made by Donald Trump about Thomas Massey, like there really is. There really, really is. Donald Trump hates this guy. hates him. And his most recent, or maybe not even most recent, he might have done.
Who knows? By the time you're reading this, you're watching this, who knows?
But the one, as of right now, that was most recent, Trump said that people are saying that Thomas Massey became a liberal because his new wife, blessed be their marriage, is supposedly a radical left flamethrower. This new union all went so fast that maybe he didn't know what he was getting into, but nevertheless, he is an absolutely terrible and unreliable Republican, perhaps a rhino, or maybe even worse. And rhino means Republican in name only. And it actually, this goes on for another like. I only read half of it. But he keeps going on. It's
you can imagine what the rest is.
Yeah. And Thomas Massey's reply is pretty funny. He says, "So now he's attacking my wife who voted for him 3 times." Maybe someone told him she's actually the one who suggested I ask Pam Bondi in person at a dinner when we would get phase 2 of the Epstein files. Bondi said there were no more files. As they say, the rest is history. So, yeah, it's definitely just pretty funny that Donald Trump took the Truth Social to call Thomas Massey's new wife a radical left flamethrower.
Dude.
When in reality, she voted for him 3 times.
Dude, I like to think like Thomas Massey is like an actual just like before the Trump era of Republicans, he's just an actual Republican who's decent enough to want the Epstein files released. And he's like, yo, it's like, why me, bro? I voted for you.
Well, I mean, like it's it's at the point of no return that this guy is.
Yeah.
So. Keeping in with Truth Social, because we actually have more.
We have more, honestly, and it's from the Grammys.
Grammys.
And the Grammys were pretty big. I didn't watch. Did you watch them?
I know I did not, but I'm sure you've kind of maybe heard some of the headlines from the Grammys.
Yes, there's a lot that happened. Trevor Noah was the host of the Grammys, I believe, and he said a lot of stuff. I mean, he talked a lot about, not a lot, but from the clips I saw, he was talking about how this is his last time either hosting or being in the spot like this. And so I think he felt a lot more comfortable saying things that maybe he wouldn't in the middle of his career. Mm-hmm. And so obviously there's a whole team of, I imagine there's a whole team of writers and all this that approve what he's going to say. So what Trevor Noah did actually end up saying about Trump is that, so basically Trevor Noah made a joke about how every artist wants to win the best song of the year. Almost as much, quote now, almost as much as Trump wants Greenland. Which makes sense. I mean, because Epstein Island is gone, he needs a new one to hang out on with Bill Clinton. This was the joke that he made. Obviously a joke, but not everyone took it that way, specifically Donald J. Trump, our president. Mm-hmm. From his Truth Social post, he put down that, quote, "The Grammy Awards are the worst, virtually unwatchable. CBS is lucky not to have this garbage litter their airwaves any longer. The host, Trevor Noah, whoever he may be, is almost as bad as Jimmy Kimmel at the low ratings Academy Awards. Noah said incorrectly about me that Donald Trump and Bill Clinton spent time on Epstein Island. Wrong. I can't speak for Bill, but I have never been to Epstein Island, nor anywhere close. And until tonight's false and defamatory statement, have never been accused of being there, not even by the fake news media. Noah, a total loser, better get his facts straight and get them straight fast. It looks like I'll be sending my lawyers to sue this poor, pathetic, talentless dope of an MC and suing him for plenty money. Ask little George Slopadopoulos and others how that all worked out. Also ask CBS. Get ready, Noah. I'm going to have some fun with you. President DJT. Now there is a lot ended there. There's a lot to unpack.
I think it's an oddly homoerotic way to end that post. Isn't
It really is.
Like,
I don't know how he put that down. Like, this is gonna sound tough. Noah, I'm going to have some fun with you. How can he say that?
I mean,
I don't.
You
but
know,
there's so much here to unpack. Especially, so he's not only he's talking trash on the Grammys. He then says that Jimmy Kimmel and Trevor Noah are at the low rating, are almost as bad as Jimmy Kimmel at the low ratings Academy Awards. He talks a lot about ratings. Ratings are huge to this guy.
Oh yeah, it's gonna come up later too. Actually, I have a story here.
Oh,
yeah.
that's.
So, he loves ratings. He cares about them a lot.
I also like that how he can't speak for Bill, but like how like I mean
it's like the least you could do, Donald, is not leave Bill out to dry.
Yeah,
I mean, come on, man. What's up with that?
But also just the flat out lie, like this isn't even something that like I don't know. It's something like the quote here that he's never been accused of being at Epstein's Island, not even by fake news media.
I think, I mean, it's been like kind of like a culturally pervasive, just kind of like joke for what, like a year now at least.
Yeah,
like
there's been multiple claims, especially with all the files that have come out.
And like I don't know if he's speaking specifically in terms of like maybe if there's nothing like linking him directly to the island itself. Like I don't know if that's what he might be referring to, but like I think the point that should be gleaned from this is like you don't get to like feign this level of outrage when like your name shows up. I don't know this for a fact, but like probably, you know, more than if not as often as anybody else's name.
I think I saw
in all of this.
The number I saw originally, this could be off now, but it was near 38,000.
Oh yeah, it's not surprising.
Yeah, it was like tens of thousands of times his name was mentioned in the three. I think this was recent. I don't know if it was just the most recent 3 million documents that just came out, or in all of them, but I believe his name is mentioned nearly or over 38,000 times.
So I just my point and my perspective on this, I don't think you get to be that upset about it when your name, just as a matter of fact, is all over these documents. Like,
also, and there's like, I might be on the files, but at least I wasn't on the island. Like, that is not. There's no.
It's a continual, you know. At first, he was never on them.
Yeah.
But now it's kind of like, you know, I didn't really have relations with him, but now it's like maybe I had relations with him, but I just wasn't on the island though. It's the goalposts have shifted a good few times.
The way he talks about it too in interviews is so funny because it's like he'll be like, now that it's proven that I'm not friends with Jeffrey Epstein, it's like, what do you mean? What are you talking about? There's nothing. There's 3 million documents that just came out that literally prove that you and him were like close friends. That's something that was like already confirmed.
Yeah.
By fake news media though, so who knows?
Now, there's something actually that you know, I think maybe you did see this that relates to that. I don't know if you had seen what Donald Trump said to Caitlin Collins.
No, I didn't.
When she had asked him about the Epstein files.
Oh no, I did see this.
So
yeah.
he said like he went on a whole thing. So Caitlin Collins, who is CNN's chief White House correspondent, basically asked Donald Trump about how Epstein's sexual assault victims might be feeling about the whole situation. And he responded like any level-headed individual would. I'm getting this from New York Times. I'll probably read a good chunk of the quotes from here just because I think it's, you know, it's insane. So he said she's, quote, the worst reporter. He said, she's a young woman. I don't think I've ever seen you smile. He said, I've known you for 10 years. I don't think I've ever seen a smile on your face. And this is all in response to her just asking like how the survivors of the sexual assault that occurred might feel in the wake of the situation.
How dare she not smile? Exactly,
right? So and again, totally normal reaction to a guy who is not guilty of anything.
Yeah.
Being asked about his or he wasn't friends to your point. He was not friends with Jeffrey Epstein. He wasn't. So average reaction when being asked something when being asked a question about something of which you were not guilty regarding a man who you were not friends with. Normal reaction for sure.
Like if you watch it too, it's something I recommend because you just see him like every time he's about to yell at a reporter, you just see the rage build and build in his head as he starts like stuttering. And you are the worst reporter. Like immediately goes to that, and I mean you knew something bad was gonna happen when you have like CNN and Trump in the same.
Yeah, there's more to this actually. He further said, "You know why you're not smiling? Because you're not telling the truth." And it's like, is smiling like a prerequisite to telling the truth? Like I don't like.
She also asked him a question. It's not even like she made a claim.
Yeah, that's a good point. Also, it's not an assertion of any fact. It was grammatically it was a question.
Yeah,
it was not. Yeah,
made absolutely no claim about you, but all of a sudden there's a truth that she's trying to get at.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. He said, "You are so bad. You know, you are the worst reporter. No wonder CNN has no ratings because of people like you." So that's why I said it comes up again. And apparently CNN has no ratings.
No,
so I guess there's nobody.
Nobody's watching.
Nobody
CNN.
watches CNN. They have no ratings.
Watches CNN,
yeah,
guys. So. Big news, but I don't know why he's so obsessed with ratings. Like obviously it is. I mean, it's important
because
in the world.
At the end of the day, he's a reality TV star.
I guess you're right. Yeah.
Like that's all.
At the end of the day, you're right.
It's a man who I mean, because we live in the worst timeline, he did become president. But it's a man who just never should have become president. He became president twice. Actually, did you know that?
I don't understand. Like talking a little bit on that. How are we gonna tell like our future grandchildren in a serious voice that we let a reality TV star be? It's a baffling concept.
It's a conversation it's a hypothetical conversation that is so awkward. I think I might just not have kids. I don't really care to explain this to anybody.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Like
maybe we can just like jump past that point.
I think the birds and the bees conversation would genuinely be easier than explaining whatever the hell is currently happening.
I want to be there though when you explain it, when you have to explain to your grandchildren the Trump era and just what it was like.
I mean, it's bonkers because, you were born in what, 2005? 2006. Okay, Jesus Christ. I was born in 2003. That's not that long ago.
Yeah.
But especially for you, but definitely for me as well. Yeah. Like when I look back on like, not even necessarily being like a conscious like human being, but like. I think like in terms of my political memory, my political consciousness, and like being just like aware of like American politics in general, as long as I can look back and like remember being aware, it's just Donald Trump. It's just
right.
And like especially for you too, I can only imagine. Right?
I do remember.
Well, you remember like Obama's later years, right?
Yeah, I remember that, and I remember the night that Trump, the morning when we like the Trump got like. Elected as president first because I remember just like going downstairs and like I don't know it was not a good vibe.
No, it wasn't.
Nowhere was a good. I mean like it was all just a joke. I mean I was in middle school or something like that. Maybe elementary school.
I think like to really be to be very simplistic about it. I don't know why I can't talk. 2016 was bad vibes when he got reelected. In 24, that was like evil vibes.
Yeah, that was like there's no way.
That was sinister vibes in 2024.
And those vibes would continue.
They would continue, and they are continuing. Now, the good thing now is that we can sit here and tell ourselves that we're over a quarter of the way through.
I know.
And
that's a good
it's some hardcore cope, but it's true still. But anyways, that's aside the point. Yeah. But yeah, no, I can't imagine how I would explain it because like, do I remember existing when Obama was president? Like, yes, of course I do.
Yeah.
But like, I guess I just took it for granted, right? Because in 2016, because in 2016, this guy gets elected, and he's fucking like insane, clinically insane, and things that you would never imagine being normalized are normalized.
Yeah. Like, I mean, like, I even as like, well, I mean, late elementary school, maybe early middle school or something like that. Even I was like. Knowing how kind of crazy this was, I remember like I was in a hotel I think one time. I was looking at it was during the like not the election but the campaigns and debates and stuff like that. And I was the news was on like a TV at a hotel or something like that at a restaurant, and I just saw it and I was like, it just seems so crazy, and I was just like, this seems wrong.
Mm-hmm.
And then
Yeah.
I guess little old me was right.
I mean, look, there's a reason. There's a good reason that like the 2016 trend. You've seen it, right?
The 26. Oh yeah.
Like people posting photos from 2016.
Mm-hmm.
There's a very good reason that is the year that people are nostalgic for, because I mean, Trump was definitely in the public eye in 2016. That was when the campaign was going on.
But it was
it
kind of remember just being a little joke.
It was like, yeah, no, exactly. It was a meme, really.
It was a meme.
And neither of us were of voting age at that time, but I do remember being like, oh, like this is like, because in my mind I was like, and even as like, how old was I in 2016? I would have been like 13.
Mm-hmm.
Like even as like a 13-year-old who like was, you know, like edgy sense of humor and whatnot, like I was never like, oh, this guy should win. I literally like, you know, back, and I feel like a lot of people have this mentality of like, oh, like he's just funny. You know, he's like a jester, right?
Yeah,
you know, he's just like he goes up there and he says crazy things and he'll never get elected, but this is like an entertaining thing to watch. Like, but then
you put him on the same level that like that one guy who wears a boot for a hat and says that everyone's gonna get a pony.
Yeah, yeah.
Like that was like, it was like, oh, okay, funny, haha, and then
he wins, but then everything else ensues. But you know, 2016 was the last year where like
things were at peace.
Yeah, as a general statement, yes. Because in 2017, Donald Trump gets inaugurated, and everything has pretty much been fine since then. Yeah.
Hey, you know what? You know what you can tell your grandchildren about this era?
What?
GTA 6 dropped. Hopefully.
Hopefully. I mean, you know, and I said this before, but I'll say it again. Like, it drops in November. Mm-hmm. So if the midterms can just be a terrible day for Donald Trump and GTA 6 drops in that same month, that's all.
Imagine
I
a
need.
Truth Social post where he's like ranting about the midterms, and the next one's like, "Love GTA 6, by the way."
I don't even know that was like a random sidebar, but it's interesting.
Yeah,
because the last 10 years, man, they've been something. They've been something.
Hey, when JD Vance is president next term,
if JD Vance is president
ever
in 2029, I think probably I'm in a different country at that point. If I'm being perfectly honest. I think that's just what happens. I'm sorry.
At a certain point, yeah, we have to know how cooked we are.
Yeah, like I'm still 1,000%, you know, in the fight right now,
mm-hmm.
and I believe, and I don't think that's gonna happen.
I don't think so either.
But if it does,
we have to seriously.
That's a different conversation. That is a different conversation.
Yeah.
But regardless,
mm-hmm.
What did I have next?
Did you have something about Don Lemon and all them?
I know I did not.
Okay, I didn't know if we should talk about that.
Yeah, well, we can if you have something.
I can pull something up. I don't have it right up now.
So, what Sam is alluding to, you can look it up.
Yeah, I'll look it up right now.
Because I'm familiar with it too. Don Lemon was arrested, for basically reporting on, as far as I'm aware, and you can confirm it for me when you get it pulled up. He was reporting on a protest that had gone into a church where I believe the pastor was actually also an ICE agent.
Not an agent.
But he worked for them.
It was something different than it was. Yeah, it was. He had some connection with ICE.
Okay.
I believe he was a director of a field office. I believe he was the director of a field office.
He worked. He worked for some section of DHS. Yeah. I would assume. Okay.
Yeah. Yes.
And yeah, he was arrested, which is Oh
yeah.
crazy.
So there was a protest at this church in Minnesota. Because one of it, because this is a quote. I'm trying to find the Chicago Public Media. Because David Easterwood, one of the pastors, quote, directs enforcement and removal operation at ICE's field office in St. Paul. Mm-hmm. So that's why there was a protest there, and so Don Lemon and Georgia Fort were there reporting on it, and within the next day, I believe, they were arrested for charges that were kind of insane. I don't know if you know about what charges they were actually arrested for.
What were they?
We were talking about it in one of my classes. That one of them was originally stated in the 1800s, I believe, to stop about the KKK. Deal with something about the KKK. I think it's suspected that it's about like they were like KKK members were like harassing black people trying to go into church, and so it was to stop them from doing that.
Mm-hmm.
And so I guess that's where the church thing lies. If you wanted to make some connection to this, and also the other charge had to do with people stopping people from entering abortion clinics.
So yeah, that makes sense.
So
yeah,
not sure how. Like either of those really relate, because all they were doing was reporting on the protest that was inside the church. They were also inside the church, but from what I can tell, it was them two. I think it was also two other independent journalists who were arrested. And I mean, from what I've heard, I don't think any of the actual protesters were arrested. It was just them.
It just goes to show that it's all performative. Like they basically just want to scare people into like not reporting on the things that are happening.
That's the thing too. Yeah, people, other independent journalists or actual reporters, not to say independent journalists aren't reporters, but like reporters for news organizations might be afraid now to enter those kind of situations where they can just be arrested for charges that are random.
I think, and this is the popular sentiment too, so this isn't an original take by me. I think that like things like this are really just a show of weakness, because if your only recourse to like just the general sentiment that is like among the American public is to arrest journalists that are like Don Lemon isn't like an opinion writer. I mean, since he went independent, I am familiar with some of the work he's done. Like he's after leaving CNN, he's very much letting his opinion be known. Mm-hmm. But when he's reporting things, he's just reporting things. Yeah. Right. He's not an opinion writer. He went there to report on a protest that was occurring at a church. When you're arresting journalists that are just doing journalism, that's a really bad sign for you. I think. I think they know that not many people are very big fans of what they're doing. Yeah. And as far as I understand it, they arrested Don Lemon and they're charging him with these things. Yeah. I think the likelihood that, as far as I understand, I'm not a lawyer, obviously, the likelihood that he gets convicted of this is very, very near zero. Yeah. But still, it's scary. It's not. It's a very bad precedent.
It's incredibly scary, and especially for other journalists. Like I said, I gotta imagine they're now a little more in fear of their, because also on top of that too, Georgia Fort talked about how when she was arrested, she got taken by the agents, and then her family and her husband tried to leave in different cars, and ICE stayed. I believe it was ICE that was there. Stayed for hours by her house, and when they tried leaving, the officers stopped their cars to talk with them. Yeah, it is not just like an arrest for these crimes. There's something. It's obviously a lot more going on, and you're right. It's out of fear. And so, but it seems like I don't know how they thought this would work, because now these Don Lemon and Georgia Fort and the other two independent journalists are now talking about how crazy this is and how and more than ever we need to be doing this reporting. And
it's a classic situation for as scary of a move as it is, just for the principles that are in the Constitution and everything. I think it's another just perfect example of the fact that yes, the administration is just conniving and just very ill-intentioned, but they're just not very they're not smart. This is not a smart move. It's not a smart move at all for them, because by doing that, the only thing, because Don Lemon is not going to get convicted. I feel confident saying that. Yeah. So the only thing that they've done in doing this is give these people involved, like you said, like Don Lemon, just the biggest platform imaginable to speak out about the things that are happening. It's just it's bad calculus if you're the administration.
I mean, you could think it's a distraction from the Epstein files, or they're using it as a distraction to distract us from something we already forgot. There's so much happening every day, of every hour, that I feel like I'm distracted by every headline because it's just as crazy as the last one I saw. I saw an interview with Trump where he said, I think it's time, paraphrasing, he was I think it's time that we move on to something else, when referring to the Epstein files. Because, those files prove that he was innocent.
They do, unequivocally. Yeah.
Unequivocally. Yeah. And so it's Trump is very badly trying to change, what the topic is right now and what the big thing that people are focusing on. And I'm guessing this is just an attempt at that, which we've seen these attempts for a while now. Yeah. And it's just been insane.
It's just it is hard for me to pinpoint if it's genuine stupidity or if it is like manufactured chaos. Because they, you know, this is an opinion, but I feel like, yeah, like these are not smart people.
No.
But also maybe they're smart enough to, you know, kind of conjure up things like that to distract from the kind of central issue.
Yeah, well, I mean, like, smart enough to realize there's a problem, dumb enough to not know how to solve it correctly. And so, and I guess this is their way of doing it. I don't know.
Mm-hmm. Like,
I couldn't even imagine placing myself in the head of someone like Donald Trump or J.D. Vance or literally any Republican right now who is approving of any of this. And so it's honestly really hard to say what their plan was and how they thought this would do anything good. And I agree with like the kind of the manufactured chaos in a way. I honestly do think that the Republicans, especially like the MAGA Trump Republicans, would rather watch this country burn than Trump not be president.
Yeah,
like,
I mean, I think, I agree with that.
If there's chaos in Minnesota and Minneapolis, okay, whatever. And that's what, I mean, a lot of MAGA Republicans right now, it's like, it's not affecting them, so.
Yeah, it's just, at a certain point, it becomes this really, like, frustrating and kind of, I don't know, like, not even necessarily paradoxical, because I think the Republican Party has pretty much shown that they're just willing to do whatever Trump wants to do.
Yeah.
But traditional knowledge traditional as in like, you know, pre-Trump Republican Party, like the Republican Party was historically the limited small government party.
Mm-hmm.
And all of a sudden it's, you know, just fine with them that there are basically military units. And I say that because if you see the photos of, you know, ICE, DHS, CBP, etc. in like Minneapolis specifically, they have like assault rifles with like lasers, and they're wearing like bulletproof vests. Like okay, like it's not the military, but it's like, come on. I mean, what are we looking at right now? I
saw someone talking about that, about how the difference now between like how like Republicans and Democrats have just kind of 180'd.
Yeah.
Like it's something that was like, Democrats now hate Tesla cars, and the Republicans now love Tesla cars, and also are not okay with people using the right of the Second Amendment. And it's like,
yeah, it's
which, yeah, I don't know how we got here. I don't know. If you look at the series of events, I'd love to read the history book that our grandchildren are going to read about the Trump era, just to see how they'll explain this in a way that could possibly make sense.
Also in a way that's not too woke.
That's not too woke.
That's important to me. Because if
a liberal is writing this history textbook, we're gonna know.
Yeah, we're gonna know pretty easily,
immediately. God, but
in regards to that though, I had something here. The situation is far from resolved, but I do know that Donald Trump and Tom Homan announced that I think about 700 ICE agents are going to be removed from Minneapolis.
Oh, thank God.
And that is going to leave. So it's a step in the right direction. I think that's actually like the exact words that like the mayor used. But withdrawing 700 is still going to leave, from the New York Times, is still going to leave about 2,000 federal officers in the area, which is okay. Yeah. 700 being removed, sure.
Great,
but you still have 2,000. It's
2,000 there that are gonna.
It's not. Yeah,
they're still fully capable of killing innocent people and doing whatever they want, apparently.
And I think at the same time that this is a testament to like just how widespread the outrage was to this. Like even including like, you know, a lot of Republican voters, Republican representatives in Congress. Because the fact that they did kind of do this at all, and apparently Trump had said that. He acknowledged that the operation in Minnesota could use a, quote, softer touch. Understatement of the century, I think.
He'll never admit he's wrong, so honestly, I'll take it. No. Like, seriously, like...
Yeah. He said the operation will continue to be tough, and he urged local officials to cooperate with federal immigration officers. And Tom Homan had said that there was about 2,000 officers that would be left in the state. How could
I mean, I know he obviously has to say that, but the fact like that he has to say like, I hope that the local law enforcement cooperates. How could you ever expect the local law enforcement to ever look at what's happening in Minnesota and be like, all right, come on through. You're good.
It's like a classic situation where like I just don't think there's a middle ground to be had when the topic of discussion is like, is like, should we have a militarized force in an American city that is killing protesters? Yes or no?
There's no. Yeah, you're right though. You're right though. There's absolutely no way to spin what's going on in Minnesota as good. That's why, like, if you look at this stuff about the killing of like Alex Preddy and Renee Good, they all are just lies. Like what, like,
yeah,
the White House and the government is putting out about these murders are just straight up lies. Like Renee Good. Oh, she was running him over with his car. Anyone who looks at the footage can know that's not true. And the same with Alex Peretti, who like apparently was going to like attack. They made it seem like he was going to attack and that he was a domestic terrorist, when all he did was get in, like, step in between the ICE officer who pushed down a lady.
Yeah,
stepped in between them, not even holding his gun. He was holding his phone. Like,
so yeah, like,
just insane.
Like, you're exactly right. So it's like they're like politely asking local law enforcement to just, go along with the program.
Go along, yeah.
There's not. Go along with what? It's, but I don't know. This situation obviously continues to, evolve or devolve.
Yeah, honestly, yeah. But I mean, I guess I mean, hopefully we can expect that more officers will be taken out within the next few weeks.
It remains to be seen, I guess, like what the administration like thinks this does for their like election calculus.
Yeah. Because
as it stands right now, like, and the general sentiment among like anybody that is kind of like paying attention is that, like, if things basically keep up, and we looked at his approval ratings last week.
Oh my God, yeah.
So if things like keep up in kind of the direction they're trending right now, which the trend is that Trump is getting less and less popular, the natural outcome of that would be the Republicans, maybe potentially getting whooped in the midterms.
Oh my God! I mean, that looks like it should be a landslide by now. I mean, there's still months and months and months in between them, but like from the approval ratings and everything that's going on right now, I mean, I can only expect what will happen. But.
And that kind of leans into another story I had here, where Trump has kind of repeatedly made the assertion that elections should be nationalized.
That's right.
So yeah, I'm sure you've seen that a little bit, and basically. Gross oversimplification, but in the United States, elections are at the state level. It's like it's a thing that the states handle, state by state. And Donald Trump has said that he actually, when we were looking earlier, he had a Truth Social post about this, like about an hour ago. So let me see. He had a quote about it here. So I'm getting this from the New York Times. Sorry. So he said, if states can't count the votes legally and honestly, then somebody else should take over. Look at some of the places, that horrible corruption on elections, and the federal government should not allow that. The federal government should get involved. It's
like, why is he still on about like the Biden Trump election being rigged? Like, that was not only that so long ago, and it wasn't true. You won this one.
Yeah.
Like, you won this one. Why are you, like, to say that there's still an emphasis of it being rigged is to say that you won because it was rigged.
It really is such a dead horse, because like if you're Donald Trump, like you won, man. Like you did.
You won.
Like you won the election, obviously. Like you won the election, and in doing so, like, you're not going to jail, which like you probably should have. You definitely should have.
Yeah,
like,
definitely should have.
So you won the election. You're not in jail. Like. You're not, like, I know people have differing opinions on this. Like, I'm definitely of the opinion that, like, you're not running for a third term. Like, that's not going to happen.
Yeah, it's not going to
like,
happen.
You're 79 years old, like, just like biologically, even if like you live to 100, you don't have a crazy amount of time left. So like
we're already seeing his mentality deteriorate.
Yeah, genuinely, why beat this dead horse? Like you won, man.
You won.
Like
we get it.
And he still does talk about the 2020 election being rigged. Like he sent I think it was the FBI that he sent them to raid a elections office in Georgia. So like, why are we still talking about 2020?
If I was in the FBI and I was one of those officers who had the raid, I'd be pissed.
Yeah,
like, this is what my time is being like spent on, like,
and
wasted on.
And your new boss, by the way, if you're an FBI agent, is Kash Patel.
Kash Patel. The amount of resignations that I've heard since Kash Patel and Trump and everything like that is just insane. And yeah, I don't know. You're right. It's like one of the biggest dead horses.
and then just like the I don't know if this is like the right word, but like the condescension of like, and like maybe like I don't know what the word is, but it's so like aloof maybe.
Yeah.
But like if the states can't handle it, somebody else should step in. Oh, who's that somebody else? Well, I think we do a pretty good job. Like,
yeah, no.
it's like, well, yeah, I mean,
it's like, Trump, do you have any ideas?
Yeah, I mean, like we all kind of like know what would happen if like you did that.
Yeah.
Like
that makes so little sense to say, you know what, let's not take it out of the state's hands. Let's put it in maybe like one person's hand. You know, people have been wanting a dictator. He's been saying that people are actually asking for a dictator, and so it's about time.
Yeah, that was a while ago that he said that. Yeah,
it seems like he's still.
So yeah, you know, the people want it. It's like, who wants a dictator? Who?
I couldn't name a single person
Yeah,
who's asking for a dictator right now. I mean, who knows? There's still 32 or whatever amount I forget, percent of America that still is approving of Trump.
Oh, what percentage you said?
32 was it?
It was somewhere in the 30s. I don't know if it was quite 32, but 36 might have been. Yeah,
somewhere in the ballpark of 30-ish%.
And trending lower.
Trending lower. Percent of America. So who knows? But
yeah. So basically, you know, my point in bringing this story up is that well, first of all, ludicrous. A reporter had asked Caroline Leavitt, the press secretary, a couple of days ago, like, you know, does Trump like really believe that, like, you know, elections should be like federalized and like taken away from the states? And her response was, you know, the president, I can find the exact quote here. The president believes in the United States Constitution, which is like, oh, does he? That's news to me.
That is actually breaking news.
Yeah. You know, the president believes in the United States Constitution. Oh, thank goodness. I must have been woefully misled.
Yeah. Just to clarify,
before
I say this next sentence.
Yeah, he said, but he also believed there had been a lot of fraud and irregularities that had taken place in American elections. Yeah, she said it was, quote, ripe with fraud. And a lot of things with this is they make a big like kind of deal out of, oh, you have to be an American citizen to vote in American elections. Like, that's always been a thing. Like like you've never been able to vote and not be an American citizen. I think people like largely understand this, but like I don't know. It's very confusing to me. I can't really make heads or tails of it.
That's what I'm saying. As I was saying earlier, I couldn't imagine putting myself in the head of someone like this. I don't know.
Yeah.
There's such a level of arrogance. And
yeah. Meanwhile, like you talk to anybody that like works in elections, and I've seen a lot of I remember a lot of coverage on it back specifically from 2020 when, you know, what happened in the wake of 2020, January 6th and whatnot. That was when these claims were really, you know, at their peak. Like, you talk to election officials, like whether they be, you know, like the ballot counters in like local jurisdictions or like state secretaries of state, like Republican or Democrat, like they will all tell you like we did the things like exactly as we did, and like the results are the results. Like, I know a big thing was with Georgia.
That's right.
Who Georgia in 2020 went blue for Biden, and Donald Trump like just really kept hounding Georgia, and repeatedly like a lot of the Republican leadership of the state was like, yeah, man, like that's just how it happened. Like, you know, like,
I mean,
yeah, like. And that's, I only bring that up to say like how silly it is, because like the only people that are calling for this like basically are like at the top, like in the Trump administration.
Yeah.
Like nobody, Republican or Democrat, as far as I'm aware in the United States, like wants this to happen.
Yeah. Also, important thing to note is that like when Trump won this last one, I didn't see Kamala or many big Democrats saying fraud, immediate fraud. Yep, the whole thing was rigged. No, because
nobody.
It's because it's a grown. I mean, it's such a childish thing to be like, yeah, it was fraud. It was fraud, and it was all rigged.
Yeah, I mean, it was. The last election was mind-boggling, but yeah, there weren't any prominent Democrats making the same claims he was making in 2020. So
ridiculous, but
it's almost as if there is one side of the aisle here that has been causing the lion's share of the issues over the past decade. It's almost as if that's the case. I'm not saying it is, but
I wouldn't know what you're talking about.
It almost might lead one to the conclusion that is the case, but I'll leave it at that.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. You take from that what you will.
Take from that what you will, and vote for Gavin Newsom in 2028.
Gavin Newsom.
Maybe George.
I'm not leaning any one way, but definitely vote for Gavin Newsom.
Gavin Newsom, yeah.
Well, I think you know what, I can end it off with a funny thing. in a sense, or with the kind of
You
in a sense with the
you got a lot of funny things up your sleeve.
with the Nicki Minaj thing.
Oh, this is good. He read it to me before we started.
Yeah, I
recording
did
this.
read this from him, but I can
This is good.
bring it up. Going back to the Grammys, this wasn't as important as the Trump stuff, but basically, if you are aware of Nicki Minaj recently, she has sided with the Republican Party majorly, which has kind of been a shock.
Bigly, some might say.
Bigly, some might say.
Some might say.
And let me see if I can find the exact quote here. Yes. So, Trevor Noah made a few jokes about her not being at the Grammys, and it seemed like a lot of people at the Grammys were okay with that, happy with that, it seemed. And he made a joke, I know one about her not being there, and I believe he made another jest, but from the Daily News, they posted a tweet that Nicki Minaj posted that says, here's the quote, "As they do their ritual tonight, God Almighty will reveal himself to them. The ritual will backfire on them. God will not be mocked. Blessed is the mighty name of Jesus Christ. Every tongue that rises up against me in judgment shall be condemned and put to shame. Watch." So, I don't even kind of know where to start with that.
So I think that is I might consider, and I don't say this lightly. If I'm Nicki Minaj, I might consider seeking counsel.
Yeah, because that is taking.
That is just a crazy thing
You notice
to say
how both.
in response to the Grammys. But
Notice how both Trump and Nicki Minaj have taken it extremely far, and this is not the only thing for Nicki Minaj. Nicki Minaj then tweeted not so long after that Trevor refuses to come out the closet when everyone in the industry knows his boyfriend, allegedly. Literally, this could not take a joke. Like,
no,
you're seeing, like, I don't understand Nicki Minaj because you're seeing, like, all, like, your entire fan base has turned against you pretty much. Not the entire thing, of course, but, like, I've heard a lot of her fan base has turned against her. And everything at the Grammys with the jokes, and she has now decided to supposedly out Trevor Noah on Twitter, which, if true, is crazy. And
yeah, and I think it's really telling of just like that side of the spectrum, and maybe not entirely, but at least for a certain group of people, that like something like that is like is meant to be like a genuine like insult, or like
oh, now he's gonna get blacklisted.
Yeah, like an insult or a bad thing is like, oh, like it's like, well, did you know, like he made a joke about me, but did you know he's actually gay?
Like, as if, it's like, oh wait, he made a joke. What a fucking asshole! Like
yeah,
like now the joke, like no one would have cared about the joke. Like it was whatever joke. It was fine. It was funny. It's like, no one would have cared that much if you didn't make these tweets.
It's like I'm not clutching my pearls hard enough over here, Nikki. I need more. Like, I like it just doesn't grab me. It's 2026. It doesn't grab me anymore. I didn't really care that he's gay.
Yeah.
Like I'm just getting a little more than that. It doesn't have enough juice for me.
Yeah, like. Yeah, you're right though in the sense that she's acting like this is a huge big deal. Like this is gonna bury Trevor Noah. It's like, and if it's true, cool. Like
the vast majority of the American public, I think in 2026, doesn't fucking care.
And the only people you're making more angry about Trevor Noah are the people who already hated Trevor Noah.
It's playing to the base, I guess. But,
I mean, that seems to be a lot of what MAGA's up to nowadays. But I thought I'd bring that up as a final. Hoopla?
Final hoopla?
Yeah.
I'll let it fly.
Yeah,
why not?
I'm glad I got approved by the board.
Yeah. I'm nationalizing the content on the podcast here.
You specifically choose everything.
Yeah, it's gonna go through me. It's gonna go through me. Yeah.
My chair's gonna get slowly lower and lower down.
But I think that's all from us today.
I mean, there's some other stuff going on, of course, with potential government shutdown stuff, but things are so ever changing with that. We thought it'd be not even to really. If
that happens, obviously we'll touch on it.
We'll definitely touch on it. Yeah,
things like that can be tricky for us though, because everybody involved here is very, very busy, and these make it out a few days after recording. So
yeah.
But in terms of that, just keep yourself availed. I mean, just.
Yeah, we can only hope for the best right now. Who knows what the future when this actually uploads? What's going on? But I am hoping for the best.
Yes.
And so
Yeah, stay safe out there, everybody. Stay warm. It's still freaking cold.
It's still cold as hell.
But
yeah.
Keep it up.
Yeah.
We love you guys.
Love you so much.
Except for the one person, you know who you are.
You know who you are. But I hope everyone else enjoyed.
I hope everybody else except for that one person enjoys.
Except that one person really enjoyed. And
Yeah.
so we will see you next week.
See you next week, and thank
Bye.
you for watching. Bye.